Cherries have still not won in the Premier League this year, but we face a side that in the last two games hasn't even registered a shot on target. Surely this is our chance to regain some of that Iraola magic that we saw in December, where we were ticking beautifully. But Bournemouth, as fans, we know that we've not exactly been clinical ourselves recently. What a game it is. It's Super Sunday. Welcome to the big back of the net match preview. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
Tom, good to have you back.
Thank you, mate.
On the preview. We watched a game in the week where we didn't play amazingly well and we got dumped out of the cup. Good times.
Yeah, I thought it was nice of the side to know I've missed a few, so give me an extra half hour of football. But yeah, it didn't end very well. Credit to Leicester. I thought the game plan was bang on. Really, I think we were all worried that it was a real missed opportunity. To be fair, they've got Chelsea away in the next round. It's not a banker for Chelsea, but it wasn't, the perfect draw, so it is what it is. But yeah, won a great game, mate. I think if we look at that game in isolation, we say, yeah, it was really poor. But the two before that, I think City, we definitely could leave our heads held high. Yeah. And Newcastle, we were very, very unfortunate not to win the game. So we're not in as bad a place as maybe the results suggest. And, in regards to Burnley, but it's just not quite happening for us at the moment. So I think us and Burnley are both looking at this game. Both teams will be saying this is a one to, kind of bring back that confidence. So it's whoever takes it.
So the Clarets really should be smelling blood, you would think. But is their confidence sapped? Company, he's been stubborn, he's been stoic, but Burnley in the Premier League this season have been sticky. They sit firmly in the relegation zone. We'll check out the league table shortly. But Tom, do you remember the last time we went to Turf Moor in the Premier League?
I don't, but remind me.
Okay.
Go on. Yeah! Get it! Fucking get it! Get in! What's the code? Right, you fucking get in! Is this going to be checked?
You enjoyed that one, mate. That was when we were happy to have VAR, wasn't it? Oh my God.
So that was in the relegation season, obviously under Eddie. That was in the February. And yeah, 3-0. Vidra Rodriguez from the penalty spot, Dwight McNeil as well. And it was one of them where I think they went 1-0 up. and then we thought we'd equalise. I think it's Harry Wilson put it in the back of the net, but then he get pulled back.
Was it Smith handball?
Yeah, Smith handball, and then they got a penalty. It was 2-0, and then there were other VAR decisions as well.
They were saying if like Harry Wilson had not scored, they probably wouldn't have got the penalty because they had to check. Like, it was really bizarre, wasn't it? It was one of the real mad ones, to be honest. It's a weird one, Burnley, because I know for previous I've had some horrific ones. I remember going there not long before that. Was it 2018, the 4-0?
4-0, yeah, September 2018.
Atrocious. But then I seen us win there on the last day, last minute goal. And I also remember back in the Championship, that Ranty goal.
Oh, TK.
And the club randomly put on free coaches for that one. I think Burnley were top of the league. So they put on loads of coaches to get more fans there. So there's a lot of us there, and we thought that would be, Ranty's arrived, and I think Danny Ings scored late for him a draw. But we've had some good ones and had some really bad ones as well. I think it was COVID, we won the cup there as well.
Yeah, that's right. We've had a cut, as you can see. We played them a few times since that 3-0. Once away, FA Cup, Sam Surridge amongst the scorers there, and then we played them in the cup again, losing 4-2. Not particularly great, but it's fair to say that game earlier this season in October was almost the catalyst for our renaissance, because obviously we know that November and December were much better. In our away league games against Burnley, Bournemouth have won just the one, losing 7, drawing 6. In all competitions though, a little bit more even, but still not on the good side. Winning 8, lost 11, drew 16. Now that game earlier this season against Burnley, again, VAR was pivotal, but thankfully in a good way for us. Now, Billing made it 2-1 with that absolute wonder goal. But then it was Rodriguez, who seems to always score in that goal at Dean Court, whether it's for Burnley, for Saints.
West Brom, I think, as well.
Yeah, West Brom. Yeah. And he did again, but for a toenail or whatever it was. And that sliding doors moment, that.
Yeah, we've said that in the past, haven't we? And if Burnley fans aren't aware, we obviously hadn't won a game to that point. And when you've got a new manager, we don't know, and the people upstairs would never say that if we had lost that, he would have gone. But the season we were having, even though we could see little bits, if we hadn't won that game, I'm not sure where we'll be sat right now. So that was really, really pivotal. It really was. And yeah, like I say, it was probably to do with their style, the keeper off the line. We've been working on that, apparently, was what Billing said afterwards. And yeah, as you say, a VAR call that, poetically, after the VAR nonsense we've had at their place, went in our favour, and he was it was literally inches, wasn't it? And to be in because he put the ball past Radu, who was in goal at the time. So that was a big moment for us, mate. And I thought, and we've kicked on since then, I did think they might, but it hasn't really materialised for them. No,
it hasn't. At Turf Moor, they've only won one game since that loss at Dean Court. And that was a hammering, it was a battering of the Blades, 5-0. But also at home, they've drawn a couple. 1-1 with Luton Town, then 2-2 against Fulham. They lost 2-0 against Palace, which isn't a good result. 2-1 to West Ham, and also losing 2-0 in games against both the Merseyside teams as well. Most recently, a 5-0 battering at the hands of the Gunners. Yeah. We're going to look through the recent results since the turn of the year, and I sort of wonder, it is such a contrast between what Sean Dyche brang. He was purposeful, he was pragmatic, and I admire the fact that this brand of football that they've got did them wonders in the Championship, and we saw that ourselves when they visited us in the FA Cup. They were playing a side that probably lacked confidence at that point in time under Gary O'Neill, but they did well. So I suppose they can be forgiven for thinking this could translate into the Premier League here, because we are absolutely dominating a Premier League side. But I think when you've got players of a more technical quality week in, week out, it's very difficult to deploy that and for it to work, especially when you're losing each week, because it's a confidence-sapping style, I think. It is, and it is really difficult because, it's one of them things. He's probably got into the job, probably given long-term vision, his plan, the way he wants to play, and they've gone, after the years of effective, but the way Dyche played, this could be, exciting for the fans, blah, blah, blah. If he then goes and changes it straight away after they lose a few Premier League games, people go... And if I'm a player playing for Burnley, you've gone up, you're playing this style, this is the philosophy the gaffer's told you, and then he goes, no, we're not doing that anymore. How are you going to trust a word he says? Because he's just ripped up his own... So I don't... And listen, the players that he's got, can you just say that they would be able to do the other style of the game? Probably not. Unfortunately for them, they just haven't got enough quality, in my opinion, at the moment.
against, and as you say, mate, they play out from the back. If you get the ball taken off you, the high press, they will score. Whereas in the Championship, they just, it's the clinicality of the Premier League, unfortunately. I mean, we've had that a lot this season as well, where, you get punished. We played really well very recently against Man City, but you get punished the one time they got in, and they're going to keep the door closed on you. So, they found it difficult, but it will be really interesting because I think they probably will go down, personally. I think Burnley fans probably would agree. But I think they'll stick with Company and try and get back up and just be better for it the next time they come back up. You've got to remember there was a time where Deutsch went down and he was allowed to bring them back up. So I don't think there's anyone calling for his head as much as I've seen. He doesn't feel like he's under pressure because I think you can see the long-term plan. I'm just not sure they've got enough quality in a lot of areas. There's been a few bits that I think, they've brought in a goalkeeper from, obviously, a young, talented English goalkeeper in Trafford. He was brought in from League One and come straight into the Premier League and told to play out from the back.
Baptism of fire, isn't it?
It's difficult. It is difficult.
So just going through their results then, Tom, talk, because obviously they had Spurs away in the FA Cup, and one of those clinical moments from Spurs. They got a 1-0 win, but then you're looking at the opponents next, thinking, right, you've got to get 3 points there, and they didn't.
No, drew with Luton 1-1, but made sure they didn't lose. But they're in a position at the moment where they need to be looking to win their home games. A bit like playing Bournemouth this weekend. You'd say a point's decent, but not for them. It isn't. They need to win games. City is what it is. I think 3-1 was pretty respectable, and the 2 draw at Fulham again. That's a respectable result, but they're in a position where points ain't enough at the moment. Having said that, a few more deductions. We don't know. It's all a bit weird at the moment. It could be. They could be valuable. Again, similarly to the City one, 3-1 to Liverpool. The Arsenal one would have hurt them. I don't think anyone would expect them to get anything, but it was a battering. The Palace one, I think context behind that, they were in the game, they got a red card. And they were trying again, but it was through their style. They were trying to play out from the back. It was actually Lerma, ex-Bournemouth player, who pressed really well, and then they were caught, and that can happen, unfortunately, for them. But just not quite happening for them at the moment. They need to just have a little run. They need to get on a little run. And I'm sure we'll talk about it, mate, but early goal against the Bournemouth side who haven't won this year, and that could suddenly be the turning point. We said about the turning point for us being against them. It could be the reverse, mate. It really could.
I always feel like goals for Bournemouth can potentially open floodgates. So when we don't score, it's almost like the team that we're playing has got more of a chance. That's what happened against Leicester in the Cup. And look, after that weekend's games where we last played Burnley, the table looked like Sheffield United being in 20th, Burnley in 19th, Luton Town 18th. No change there then. Bournemouth, though, were in 17th. This is the current league table. And look, we've moved up to 14th, but the lack of green W's there is a concern, of course.
Have a look at the matches played as well. We have got a game in hand.
We've got a game in hand, but what that would put us up a place if we won it. But
yeah, we want it, mate. Goal difference in it because there's a couple of teams on 28. But
this is the clash of the league's 2 worst formed teams, which seems baffling to say it. Really, look, all the Bs are down there at the bottom: Brentford, Bournemouth, and Burnley. It's not great. It has been a very difficult season for Company. We're going to be travelling up. Safe travels if you are going up. It is live on the telly, but you know something. If you can't catch the game on TV, there's an app you can download that is absolutely brilliant. Do you know what it is?
Go on.
SofaScore.
Oh.
Yeah, so this match preview is powered by SofaScore. It is our favourite footballing app. We've got real-time goal notifications that are quicker than if you're watching, say, Soccer Saturday. You get goal notifications faster than on your TV. Player and team information as well. Loads of stats, loads of heat maps, and it's also the highest rated live score app on the App Store and the Google Play Store as well. And Tom, you're an avid user of it, aren't you?
Yeah, love it. I'm going to give you a little. I wonder, who do you think was Bournemouth's best performing player? Who got the best rating in the last game we played against Burnley?
At home?
Yeah, can you remember that?
For the goal, I might say Philip Billing.
Well, it was for the goal, but it was for the other goal, Antoine Semenyo.
Oh, okay, right.
And you think about that, you go, I can't remember the game. Was Semenyo, as you say there, why did he? And then you can go into it, because you go, okay, so 63% of his passes were bang on. All of his crosses found a Bournemouth player. He was successful in a lot of his dribbles. So you can start seeing, he didn't lose the ball too many times. He got a few interceptions. So then you start seeing why the ratings are as they are. And for them, the right back, Vitinho, I can't really remember now, but he had a really bad rating. He got a 5 on SofaScore, and then you delve into that and you go, oh, okay, so he lost the ball a few times. Yeah, he did. He lost the ball 17 times from fullback. Yeah, he didn't really do a lot in the game. No accurate crosses. So you can start delving into it and realising you see a lot on the when you're watching the game, but you can see statistically why players are rated as they are, mate.
Get downloading the app.
Really
SofaScore. It's on the App Store. It helps us if you are to download the app. There's a QR code on screen, link in description, and also a card at the top of the screen. Click it now. Go on. So on the way on this channel, if you're a Burnley fan, you can do a couple of things, by the way.
Yeah, click that like button.
Yes.
Really appreciate that one. And then click subscribe while you're there. That'd be great. If you click the bell as well, you'll know when the videos are uploaded.
And there are videos on the way because look, we've got you'd have already seen that we've done an opposition preview with Liam, aka Visit. That was uploaded yesterday. That was really good. Oh, by the way, also in the description, link to Reece, Burnley fan. We took part on his opposition preview. What a lovely lad he is. Make sure you click that as well. Cards at the top. Because we talked for about a good 35 minutes on all things Cherries and Burnley.
You just mentioned we've spoke to Vizé. So I just want to say to Vizé personally, Burnley, they're already relegated.
Oh, see what you've done there. Love that. You used the exact same words that he used. But look, fan reaction video at full time. We've got a matchday vlog that comes out on the day after, plus we'll be talking in more depth after that.
Yep, second look, probably on the Monday night, so we can, it's also with the audio podcast, so we can kind of dissect the game a little bit more, and then we'll have to smash into some away day reviews. We've got a few backed up, so we'll get a few out, rating all the away days. You can look back on previous ones to see, and we put you in the league table, and maybe Burnley will stay up in that one. So, I mean, we'll see. It hasn't done them too many favours making us travel there for a 1 o'clock kickoff, I must say. Not very nice for us at all. But, I'm sure we'll enjoy it anyway.
I think it's only been moved to 1 because they've moved the Manchester derby back an hour. So for Sky, they've just like...
Thank you.
I've had worse. There's been a 12:45 p.m. at Huddersfield once before, and that was harsh. That was on BT. That was a 4-1.
Yeah, got battered to it.
Stanislas scored a great little goal in that. Alas, will our vlog contain a Burnley shot on target? Because in the last 261 minutes of football, they've only had one on target, and that was against Liverpool. I was looking at their average formations actually, mate, in recent games. Especially Luton, who's winnable. How congested is it in the middle of the pitch? And also, where's the width? I mean, it could be because the wingers are swapping. We don't know, but it does seem to be that they like to congest it out a little bit in the middle of the park. Maybe this is where our wingers will have a little bit of luck, perhaps.
Yeah, potentially. I wonder if they try and play a little bit inverted on them sides sometimes. But I was thinking about when we come on to kind of predicted teams and that I've done. I found it quite difficult to work out. They're quite flexible, so to actually stick to a rigid formation is quite difficult to say, really. You can kind of make a case for it being whatever formation you want because of the movement of that, but that's how he wants to play. The only thing I will say to him is that surely you would have thought at some point they're only going to get better with implementing the same style all the time. You would have thought. But it's not quite happening for him at the moment. But as you say, mate, it is quite a narrow system at the moment. I think they are missing a few kind of natural wide players that has probably impacted that somewhat. I know Redmond, for example, is out, who's more of a winger. So, that might be part of it. But I don't know, it's a weird one. Like you say, that shot on target thing, I kind of get it for the last game because the Palace game, as I said, they went down to 10 men. So that's always tough. But really, I look at some of their players and I'm surprised. But then I'm sure you'll come on to some of the team news. Maybe they're missing some players that would probably be more likely to get shots off for them.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we of course were looking at the home average positions there in their home games. And I tell you what, you're right about the injuries because they have got a few key players out. I mean, look at this list here. You can see so Aaron Ramsey, Nathan Redmond, Lyle Foster, Koleosho, big player from Brownhill, also Jordan Bayer as well. And most of them are ruled out. I don't think many of those will be back at all.
Well, Brownhill's obviously got the red card in the last game, so he's definitely out. But it's the way, if you look through them players that you've mentioned, there's Lyle Foster, I think. I know they've bought in Fofana from Chelsea, that so you can make that question. But I think before that, Lyle Foster is their best striker. Ramsey's an attacking midfield player. Redmond's a winger. Koleosho could play wide. Brownhill's centre midfield and Bayer's a defender. So that's in all areas. So I think that's really difficult for them. It's not like there's one area that they're struggling with. They've kind of got a bit missing in every department, which has probably made it difficult for them. And I think everyone was saying at the start of the season, the one that was making the headlines was Koleosho. He looked like a real talent, and then they've lost him. So not easy for them. But
they've got Fofana on loan from Chelsea though, who's scored a few. Yeah,
he's scored a few already now, and he's starting. Sometimes you get that thing when you get a player on loan, they're really, no fear, and they're kind of going, I'm not a Burnley player. I'm here to prove myself to either get a move or to get in the Chelsea team. And he's a good player. Chelsea have signed him for a reason. Amdouni I've always quite liked as well. He's probably carrying a lot of responsibility on him with Foster being out, but he's a good player. So they have still got some talented players, mate. They've still got some threats in there.
As for Bournemouth, the usual suspects, Ryan Fredericks, Tyler Adams, who's going to be on his way back to a development game soon.
Yeah.
Where that'll be, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they thought, hang on, we could get some people through the door for this.
Yeah.
Let's switch it to Dean Court from the New Cuthbury. James Hill, of course, Lloyd Kelly, probably not going to be in contention. We've got Max Aarons, of course, out as well. But on Tuesday in the Cup, Enes Unal straight to hospital with a collarbone injury, or shoulder injury.
How do we? It's almost impressive how we manage to find players that just get injured all the time. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's not like he's had loads of shoulder injuries. Just is what it is. Whereas Solanke's the one that the club have said that they're hopeful. So we'll have to see. I wonder if it's. I remember actually. I think Andoni said it after the game of the week that he's been carrying a knee knock since Tottenham.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Tottenham away. I went down just before half time, and they had it on the telly. And I said, I'll be surprised if Dom comes out second half. He's took a real whack there. Just seeing the replay, and then he was fine. And then against City, I remember messaging you going, he's took a bit of a whack on his knee. And it's almost like an ongoing thing. So I wonder if we've looked at it and gone, having 2 games of the week might be a little bit much at the moment. So I'm hoping he'll be okay, obviously.
Yeah. Do you want to know the surname of the referee that we got this weekend?
Not really.
Coot.
Oh, he's cute. We've had him before because I've done that.
Yeah, David Coote. I said, I'm recycling material here. Good, isn't it?
And what did he do for us?
Okay, away at Everton.
I mean, it wasn't his fault, but yeah.
Home against Chelsea.
0-0. Yeah.
Well, so 1 point.
No goals.
No goals. 1 point.
Great.
Let's change that on Sunday. Right, let's do the teams. Come on then. Right, Burnley then, similar formation to us, 4-2-3-1. What are you going for then, Tom?
Yeah, difficult one, Burnley, and as I said, it's hard to kind of nail down a formation, but I'm going to go in this sort of style. Trafford will be in goal. I think they'll bring Vitinho back in at right full-back. They've got a few options there, but that's what I'm going to go with. Esteve and O'Shea, centre-halves, and Taylor, who got the goal. I think it was his first goal, absolute screamer at our place.
Oh yeah, what a good goal that was, yeah.
He's bloody ex-Leeds as well, but yeah, he'll probably be at left-back. No Brownhill, so I think Josh Cullen will come back into the midfield to play with Sander Berge. And then the freebie behind the striker, I'm going to go with Odobert, Goodmanson for his experience on the other side, and then Amdouni kind of supporting in the 10 with Fofana, as we mentioned, I think probably leading the line for him, mate. So that's what I'm going to go with. They've got a few other options in there, but yeah, I'm gonna go with that, see how I go.
Okay, and as for AFC Bournemouth, let's
tough.
check this one out. What are you going for?
4-2-3-1, similar again. I assume Neto will come back in goal. I think at the moment with the injuries, the back four speaks for itself, really.
You can't do anything else, can you?
No, you can't really do much. I think it's going to be from right to left. Adam Smith, Ilya Zabani, Marcos Senesi and Milos Kerkez. I think he'll go back to the 2. No one staked enough of a claim for me in the week. So Lewis Cook and Ryan Christie.
I find that when Cook plays with Scott, it just
feels similar.
Maybe they're too similar.
I think
they don't seem to work.
They both, I feel like both of them want to do the same thing, which maybe don't always work. But I think they'll go with them 2 back. It's these front 4 that's difficult to judge. I'm going to go with, I think the only kind of wide attacking option at the moment that's actually delivering relatively well is Antoine Semenyo. Yeah. So I think he plays. Yeah. It's what position because of injuries. I'm going to start with him on the right hand side.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm going to play Sinistera off the left. I just think Tav is not happening for him. Sinistera hasn't been brilliant, but I think he might get the start on that left hand side. And then I'm going to go Clive back in the 10 because I don't think Billing done enough in the week. I don't think Dango done enough. And as I say, I don't think Tav's on it at the moment. So they're the 3 I'm going to put.
And then I'm
going to manifest Dom Solanke being okay to start. So I'm going to put him up front.
Okay, and if he's not,
then I think you'll probably see Semenyo move up front and Tavernier come back in. Yeah. That's what I would have thought. But I'm going to manifest it, mate. I think hopefully we play Dom, and you got to remember there's a. If he's carrying this injury, if he can get through little bits, I think now because of us crashing out the cup, we're probably going to have a couple of weeks without a game where maybe you can sort it out. So I'm hoping he can get through it for us, please, Dom. So yeah, I'm going to go with that one, mate. That's what I think we'll go with. There's a case to say the wingers ain't playing very well. Could Favre get a chance? But that's what I'm going to go with at the moment.
Okay, interesting stuff. I want to know your predictions. If you've got some, Let us know what they are in the comments round about now. Tap away and let us know what you think. This is one where is this like maybe a season-defining fixture for Burnley? Because surely it's one of the games where you think, come on, we've got to beat. But they haven't won this year.
I wonder if I think Burnley, if I'm just going to double check, because I feel like Burnley, I think it was Vize I saw on Twitter, X, showing they've got like a group of fixtures now that unless they come out of it, they're done. So Bournemouth at home, West Ham away, Brentford at home, Chelsea away, Wolves at home.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel like there's a little spell now because they end the season. I mean, last day is Forest, you never know. But they then, just before that, they've got United, they've got Newcastle, they've got Tottenham. So it feels like a big run for them. As I say, the weird thing at the moment is if you can keep touching distance, you never know with a deduction of a couple of teams.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, exactly. They've got to keep fighting for that reason.
But if they're picking out a few fixtures going, we need to win that, they'll be picking Bournemouth at home, and I respect that. I think, easy to say it, but I think first goal is so big because if they get it at home against a Bournemouth team who haven't won this year, that place will get bouncing, they'll go, right, we can hang on to this here. If we get an early goal, which is what I'm hoping could happen, high press, nick an early goal, that could get, their confidence just could get sapped even more. It could lift us and we could be... We saw a similar thing, they don't play the same way, by the way, but when we went to Sheffield United,
I'd say that.
Got an early goal through a bit of pressing and stuff, and they were just zapped, weren't they? So, I think the early goal's key. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals in the game because I don't think two teams play with much confidence. So I personally am going to go 1-0 Bournemouth.
All right.
Antoine Semenyo.
Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah. What are you going for?
I'm going to do a repeat of Sheffield United, 3-1.
3-1 Bournemouth, okay.
But all depends on Dom. If not, I might temper that and just go 2-1 or something like that. But look, I'm going for 3-1. I'm reading your predictions, hopefully round about now, right? Yeah, they should be in the comments. Looking forward to seeing you all up at Turf Moor. If you're not watching, enjoy it from the comfortability of your sofa. And then look, we've got Matchday Vlog and all that kind of stuff, as usual, to look forward to on the channel. Tom, it's been a pleasure. The brains is back.
Appreciate it, thank you. Nice to be back, mate. And as I say, why bother with Newcastle and City when I can return for Turf Moor, Burnley away? God almighty.
See you there.
See you later. Oh, God. Is this this is the first game in a while I feel neither team will take a draw? It's quite rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quite a big game, this.
Come on.